For those who are watching this on my YouTube channel, I'm feeling a little bit nasally today. I've had the flu for the second time this year. So bear with me if I sound a little bit weird. So I would love to introduce you first of all, Karina, for people to get to know you and understand a little bit about who you are. Can you just give us a bit of an intro? What do you do for work? Tell us a little bit about your life.
So I'm Karina. I'm in my 40s. I have 3 kids. I'm divorced. I'm a mindset coach and I'm a nurse.
Mindset coach, divorced mom of 3 kids, and you're a nurse.
Yes, all of it.
Even though I can't keep up with all that. Okay, so Karina, would you like to tell people, you know what? Also tell us, outside of being a mom, doing mindset coaching and all of these sort of things and being a nurse and working, what else do you do for fun that brings you joy?
Do you know my favorite thing I do? I love getting up to see the sunrise. Like,
See the sunrise.
it's my favorite thing. It was like my thing that kind of kept me going through my separation and divorce, was to get up every day that I could and watch the sunrise and just see how beautiful the sky was. And it was like my motivation, like every day is going to be okay. So that's my favorite thing. I still love getting a coffee and watching the sunrise.
Sometimes it's about those small things, hey, in life. They say the free things give us the most amount of joy. So
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so would you like to tell everyone here, what was one of the reasons you reached out to me that you thought, shit, I need Liv help with?
So one, I was able to buy my first property by myself after my divorce, and I had a bit of equity sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that equity should be used and can be used. I didn't know how to.
Yeah.
And I really wanted the support, as in, like, I have a 30-year mortgage, and at the moment it's just me paying it. So the thought of working till I was 70 to pay off my mortgage was really scary. So that was probably my motivation behind it, was how can I help myself pay this mortgage?
Pay it off, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Amen. It's interesting because not a lot of people think like that. They think, oh, they just accept that they're going to swap their time for money to pay down this mortgage. And when you came to me, you're just like, oh, my first goal is to pay off the home mortgage. I was like, we can do more than that plus. So what's really exciting is I was just having a look at your portfolio planner that team did for you. And on top of that mortgage, we're also going to be able to get you, now it's a long time, over 17 years though, it's better than nothing. Over 17 years, we're still going to get you an additional $122,000 of passive income to live off.
Like, that's huge, right?
Yeah. Like, for you being a single mom and coming and doing all of this on your own, 3 kids, trying to do your business on the side, whilst you got being a nurse, like, that's a lot. That's a pretty good result for somebody in your position. So I'm pretty stoked about that for you. How did you feel when you got those results?
I was so excited. I think the one thing that we spoke about was my big plan is obviously this portfolio and to keep building. Yeah. And there was something that you said, was that with this first property that I buy, if it was the only one I did, and I think it was after 5 years, I could sell it and clear my mortgage, right? I think we cried. I know I definitely cried that day when you told me that. It was just that relief that I'm not by myself, almost. Like, I have this extra support to pay off my mortgage. So my goal is big. My goal is to go big and to build this portfolio. But there's like this little reassurance that sits in the background going, you know what, if anything, you just got to stick it out for the next 5 years and you can clear your mortgage and it's easy going. Like, that's huge.
That's huge. You're right. And the fact that you're now going to be able to pay that off and that's quite conservative too, because we're very, very conservative. Obviously, the fact that you're able to pay off that mortgage in 5 years. And then I just know within myself that you're going to be like, oh, okay, was that easy? Let's go again. Let's keep going. Why stop? That's my goal, to get everyone there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing. The other thing is like to think that now me as a single mum possibly is in a better financial situation than when I was in my marriage, because I was willing to go and do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was willing to go and say, hey, let's look at the investment properties. Let's figure out how can I do this? That wasn't possible in my marriage. It's possible now for me to do. So to think that in 5 years' time, I could be mortgage free, and that wouldn't be my reality if I was still married.
Wow.
That's kind of huge, right?
That is huge, because there's a lot of single women out there who think that it might not be possible. Speaking of,
Yeah.
if there was another single mum in the same situation, same shoes as yourself, who's potentially divorced, just got a bit of equity on their home, or maybe they've got a little bit of cash from the divorce, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to ring you and speak to you. Like, they need to speak to you, but also just to see that what we've been told about just buy our house and pay it off isn't the way in which we get rich. You know, and I get it, because I get, like, from when I was single, like when, after the divorce, I really wanted my house. It was like that security for my kids and I. So I get that that's like, it's almost a base. You really want to have this safe place for you and your kids. So I get that. I wish I'd been able to speak to you before I bought my first house, like my house that I live in now, because I think it would have been such a different outcome, what I could have done financially for myself, and would have set myself up so differently. So I am grateful for where I am now, but I would suggest that people need to look outside just buying our mortgage and paying it off for the next 30 years, because there is other ways of being supported. To also own our own home, we can still do it. It might not just be that straight route of buying your first home to live in.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you're going to make more than your wage. You're going to get in capital growth in 1 year from the property, and you're going to make that whilst you sleep.
Yeah.
So it's just back to your point, like, from an analytical perspective, it's like no human can work as hard and go to their 9 to 5 job and work as hard as what compounding does, but specifically compounding somebody else's money, aka the bank's money on property. We just can't.
Yeah.
And so you're right, that's the quicker way around it. There's always an easier way. So well done. You must be very proud of yourself. And how are the kids again, your kids?
So 6, 8, and 11.
Wow. Okay. So by the time they're all like the older teenagers, you'll be able to show them what you've done.
Yeah.
And lead the way.
Yeah.
Great
and I'm so excited for that, for them to see that and to know what, what they're going to do. Because I always talk to them now about, you're going to save up and buy a house. Like, that's where it is. You're going to go invest in property. That's where it's at.
Invest in property. Yes, I love that. You don't have to have any qualifications. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. And one last question for you. What's one of the things that you think you've taken away from me that's your biggest lesson, or things that I've helped you with the most?
I think you gave me a lot of confidence and reassurance that kind of to step outside the normal box. I think because you've done it yourself, so you're leading by example. So it was about the confidence to take the calculated risks, look at the long term as well. So it's not just about the short term. Like, I got really clear on what I wanted, and you were able to help me get there by knowing what the long-term goal was and just being able to stick to it.
Thank you for that. Hopefully that helps somebody who's listening to this and watching this as well. And it's been really fun watching you grow throughout this experience, and watching your mindset as well go from, hang on, rather than this be a 5-year thing, this can be, I can achieve more as well in the longer term. So I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Thank you. This has been like the funnest experience. And I think that's the thing. You gave me the confidence to go, you know what? All those things I'm thinking, it's actually possible.
Yeah. Yay. I love that. Because as long as we have confidence, I think that's one of the first pillars that I want to get everyone to, is that confidence of understanding, some stuff that I talk about, like why debt is irrelevant with inflation, and why rent investing is an awesome tool, and all of these sort of things. If you can feel more confident, it allows you to feel more bullish and actually build more in the long term anyway. I'm just here to fast track you with the knowledge. And that you took on really well.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm proud of you. All right, we'll wrap that one up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No worries. Thank you so much.